Hi, welcome to Mark's English Academy, the place to learn English fast. I want to show you how I teach English fast. The problem with your English is that you probably know lots of words, but you don't know how to use them. When I teach English, I don't like teaching my students lots of new words. I teach them a few words, and then we practice again and again and again. That way, my students can start speaking real English fast, and they can start speaking with confidence. Okay, I want you to look at these three sentences here. Her kids went into the store. My dog ran around a park. His friend walked past an igloo. An igloo is a small house made from frozen snow. All right, now these are three very simple sentences, but look what we can do with these sentences. See how they have different parts, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each sentence has 5 parts, and we can make different combinations from those parts. For example, I could say, her friend went into an igloo. Or, my kids walked into the store. Or, his dog ran past a park. Okay, so we can make so many combinations out of these sentences. Now, not all the combinations would make sense. I mean, if you said, his dog walked into a park. His dog walked into a park. You know, we probably wouldn't say those kinds of sentences in English, but it's grammatically correct. All the combinations you could make here would be correct sentences, even if we would never say them. But I just made these up to show you the power of words. Okay, here we have 18 words. That's it, 18 words. But we can make 243 possible sentences. 243 sentences from 18 words. I hope this number is right. I'm not a math teacher. I'm an English teacher. But look at that. Only 18 words, and we can practice making so many different sentences. And that's the problem with learning English, is that you don't know how to make very many sentences. Your confidence is low because you don't have very much practice using the words in sentences. Okay? So only 18 words, and you can practice lots. Now, the secret to learning English fast is not to learn lots of words, but to learn a few words and to learn the right words, to learn the most common words in the English language, and then practice using them over and over again. Look at this. This is really interesting. So 10 words in English make up 25% of the language. 25% of the most common words that we say in English come from 10 words. These words right here. The, be, to, of, and, in, that, have, I. Okay, so when you hear me talk, or when you hear any other person speaking English, a quarter of everything they say is these words right here. 10 words. That's it. Okay, 100 words make up about 50% of the language. So you only need to learn 100 words and you know half of the English language. Okay, 1,000 words gives you about 75%. So in this 100 words, we have words like from, because, me, go, well. You probably already know those words. And here in the 75%, we have words like girl, win, decide, series. Maybe you don't know all of those words, but I'm sure you know girl or boy or other words in this category. Okay, now 75%, that's a lot. That's a lot of English. And if you can learn 1,000 words, your English will be incredible if you can practice using those words in sentences like this here. So when I teach, I use this method. I teach a few words and then I practice lots and lots. If you take one or two of the courses that I offer on my website, marksenglishabacademy.com, you'll learn many more than 1,000 words. You'll learn maybe 1,500 words in a few weeks. 1,500 words in a few weeks. And then you'll be speaking probably 75% of the English language if you practice hard. Okay, 7,000 words is roughly 90% of the English language. So in that category, we have tackle, peak, crude, modest. These words are getting a little bit harder. Okay, how many words are there in English? Nobody knows. Nobody knows how many words there are. More than 1 million. There's more than 1 million. So if you know 1 million words, you'll probably know 99% of English. Those have words in that category are words like endobenthic, pomological. I don't even know what those words mean. Okay, you might be wondering how many words I know. Definitely not 1 million. I would say I know roughly maybe 10,000, 10 to 15,000 words. Okay, so that's not very many. 10 or 15,000 words. Look, that would maybe be 92%. 92%. And I'm a native English speaker. Okay, if I'm a native English speaker and I only know 92%, that means if you learn 75%, that's really good. If you can speak 75% of the English language on a regular basis, your English will be amazing. Okay, so I wanted to show you this to encourage you, because it's very easy to get discouraged when you start learning English. You might open your dictionary and you might see all the different words, and it's overwhelming because you think, oh, I have to learn so much. That's not true. You don't need to learn very many words. You only need to learn about 1,000 words. And if you take some of my courses on my website, I would teach you, for example, in my Fast 500 course that you can see on my website, the Fast 500 course only takes 5 weeks. In 5 weeks, okay, with lots of practice, you can learn 500 words. And then I offer different courses, business English or travel English. If you take maybe 2 or 3 of those courses, you'll learn 1,000 or more words. And then you would be able to speak 75% of English. And that's incredible. It doesn't need to take a long time. You don't need years and years to learn English. You need a few months of practice with a good teacher, and you'll learn English really, really fast. I've had students learn English very, very quickly. Okay, so there's hope. Don't get discouraged. All right, so anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say. I just wanted to encourage you that you don't need to learn 1,000,000 words. You don't even need to learn 7,000 words. All you need to learn is maybe start with 100 words, then learn 500 words, then 1,000 words, then maybe 2,000 or 3,000, and your English will be really, really good. If you want to take a course or two with me, go to marksenglishabacademy.com and click on the Learn tab, and there you'll see all the different courses that I offer. So anyway, I hope you're encouraged. Remember, keep practicing because you really can do it. All right, I'll say bye for now. Take care.